everybody. We don't know what we're doing. Welcome to another episode of Wednesday, where we can't tell up from down, left or right.
Okay.
Oh, we press A start. I don't know. It's like an old Sega code I use for Sonic. But anyway.
Yeah, you know, it's a thing.
Hey,
start?
Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in and checking us out and listening and watching and whatever you kids do. We, gosh darn it, we love it. What's happening, everybody? I'm joined with Chandler. Good to have you back.
Hi, it's good to be back.
Yeah, Chandler is awesome. He's he just oodles of fun. He's kind of the cute one of the group.
I like how Paul's doing like a dating show rundown of everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like the Bumblebee of the show.
Blindfold.
Yeah.
Dating.
And contestant number 2, Jay.
Jay comes from, actually, where do you live, Jay? Revere?
Revere.
Nice. He's a South Shore kid.
He's a South Shorean.
Jay comes from the South Shore.
Yeah.
Jay's 22.
7.
Tall. Got a pretty manly beard. Loves anime. Long walks on the beach. And putting a finger in your butt. Let's move on to Rob.
Oh, hey.
That was only like twice. You
Sorry,
never know
ladies,
after the first
Rob's
time, so
spoken
I gotta
for.
test again. Sorry.
We're
I am
professional.
married, but that means I don't get one.
No.
Aww.
Oh, well. He's
And
handsome and he
stream.
flips his hair back and it's awesome.
My car air conditioner is broken, and New England, as well as most of the world, has been a hot hellscape. So my drive to work every day is in a sauna that's very windy, so my hair explodes.
Damn.
It
It's
works
very
for
feathered.
you, though.
I get the
Feathered.
feather look.
The Farrah
It
Fawcett.
works for you.
Yeah, I think...
Need a haircut.
Mine frosts over, and I have to go like this occasionally to try and make it not look like shit. But that's a personal thing.
My hair's pretty inert, as you can see.
Right, yeah. Mine just looks like I stuck my finger in a socket.
Oh, no.
Actually, no, I think that would be more like...
There we go.
This is the
No,
best
no,
hair
go toward
podcast
the
on Twitch
center.
right now.
So that way it'll be like you have superpowers from it.
This looks like your early
There we
2000s,
go.
like faux hawk going on.
I was going
Yeah,
to say
it's
that,
Polyshock.
but I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
It's okay. I'm in a Blink-182 cover band every other weekend. We
I think Warped Tour's still going on.
We perform at the Denver retirement
It was
home.
last time.
We're called All the Small Things.
Yes.
I like it.
I bet that exists.
But it's just me and a ukulele.
Wait.
Never thought I'd die alone.
Shut it down. Burn it to the
Anyway,
ground.
speaking of things from the
Yeah.
90s, there's a second Venom's trailer.
You know, I gotta say, this trailer, it's not as bad as the others. I'll say that.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to mute watch it.
But would you say it was good?
I don't know. You know what I can't get past? I can't get past Tom Hardy's.
No,
Talk.
it looks bad.
Yeah.
Everybody's got problems. I'm a reporter.
Everybody's got the thing. That's my thing. That's your thing. We all got
Sometimes you
things.
gotta
Can you
get your hands
Can you
dirty
imagine
to
how?
get the job done.
But listen to how he talks and think about how he writes. Like, can you just imagine him walking around with his recorder? Like, yeah, I'm not down, and I just got me streets where everybody's got problems. And,
It's funny when they said they were going to take influence from like the shitty 90s Venom comics. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Those are far too terrible and make no sense. You couldn't possibly make a movie about that. But what I now understand is that they took the overly edgy coolness of the 90s and embraced it wholeheartedly for this movie. Isn't it the trailer end with him saying he's gonna kill someone like a
No
fart in the
spoilers.
wind
I'm
or
watching it
something?
now.
Well, then don't listen to us, Chandler.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. It ends. Yeah, edgy Venom. Like, I'm going to eat your arms, and I'm going to eat your legs, and then I'm going to eat your ears. And
Oh, wow,
all I
that
could
one ate
think
his
of
crotch.
was fucking Princess Bride. With Wesley just being
Inconceivable.
like, I'm going to cut off your arms, I'm going to cut off your legs, your nose, and your tongue. And I'll poke out your eyeballs. Then people will you'll only be able to hear people mock you. And I was just like, yeah,
That
Venom.
will
Venom
be
wants
like
to be Princess Bride.
that will be the review of like the movie. Like, and then when people come streaming out of the theater, they'll scream, "Oh God, what is that terrible thing?" that I just wasted
basically.
$20 on.
Ooh,
So,
$20. That's a
there's, like-
$5 Tuesday movie.
I guess on a good note, I mean, Venom definitely looks better than he did in Spider-Man 3.
Let's just,
I
I just
never
love
saw that.
Rob's interjection. Well, on a good note, if
He's tall. He's very tall.
I like the
He has
veins.
white veins.
Yeah, that's cool. When his face pulls back and it shows like half Venom, half Tom Hardy, it kind of looks kind of like Tom Hardy's in like a weird like Halo Spartan armor.
I just love. I got a
'cause it's like so much
parasite.
bigger. Ha 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 ha.
It just makes it sound like gross. Like, yeah, you know, I fucked some girl and I didn't use the condom, and now I got a parasite. It might be crabs. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear back from the doctor. Anyway, have a good night, Miss Chen.
I do understand why Tom Hardy would have been
Miss
so
Jen.
into this movie, because it seems like he like walked on set and he's like, I'm just gonna act so dumb this whole time. It's gonna be hilarious.
And this time I'll get to see
Yeah.
my face and not have a furnace attached to it.
I gotta be a tough guy. One thing I actually genuinely do like is how him and Venom have totally different voices,
Yeah,
but Venom is kind of silly. This whole thing is silly.
it is. I think it's
It
interesting
shouldn't be
that
a thing.
I think it's interesting that they're bringing in the other Venom characters. Like Scream is totally in it. I'm pretty sure the dude with the long hair is Carnage, Cletus Cassidy.
No, he
Yeah,
died.
probably.
Didn't he get crotch eaten by the symbiote? I just finished
That's
it.
Or was
what
he-
they want you
was
to
he-
think.
Becoming. Well, is Shriek the yellow and black symbiote?
Yeah, let's
Or is that
Is that
Scream.
the
yellow,
girl.
blue, and black symbiote?
Because
What?
in the
I s-
comic, she was like a security guard, and then it looks like that she's a security guard, and there's like things jumping out of her, and you see like canister with like a brown and yellow Venom.
Guys, I found an article called "All the Symbiotes Confirmed So Far for the Venom Movie," so
All
we
the-
don't have to guess.
Oh, look at that!
Riot
All the
Riot
Venom things
is apparently in it. He's apparently the bigger bad guy of the movie, which,
I'm sorry, who is this?
according to the still frame, looks like he's like the scientist businessman you see a lot.
The
Phage.
science man, eh?
It says Scream is in it. It's the character Michelle Lee's playing, but you don't see her as a symbiote. The yellow and black symbiote is from Phage, who we only see in a jar. We don't see a person. And then Toxin is the one that like eats that guy. So
geez.
yeah, for all you Venom aficionados out there that read Planet of the Symbiotes or whatever the shit that was called, not Maximum Carnage. Was it in the 90s? Planet of the Symbiotes or Rise of the Symbiotes? Symbiotes Judgment Day.
I didn't know there was so many derivatives
Symbiotic
of
relationships.
like, it's ridiculous.
Family Matters? Was it called Family Matters?
Parasite
Symbiote
matters.
Comics.
It's a rare
Marvel.
condition this day and age.
When you're covered in goop.
That'd be amazing.
There
there
must
is-
be
there is
some
definitely,
magic room behind these. Sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, you know what?
I was going to say, there's definitely a symbiote series because when I was like 6 or 7 in the mid 90s, peak Venom fandom, because that was peak Venom, and he appeals greatly to 6 and 7-year-olds, which I bet still holds true to this day. But I remember
Probably
seeing
8-year-olds
there's
now.
this tiny little card shop near where I grew up in the Cape, and there was just a comic book with a bunch of symbiotes on it, and I was like, that's the coolest looking shit I've ever seen. I didn't buy it, but I remember just seeing the cover and being like, there's 5 Venoms. Whoa.
Venom Rangers.
Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll read some shitty Venom stuff.
Don't do it.
I actually already did that.
Don't do it to
I read-
yourself.
Paul, did you
Yeah,
read Lethal Protector also?
I read the first few issues, and
I think we talked about
and
it
then I sort
like
of-
a couple months ago.
yeah, and then I sort of rethought
Yeah,
my
it's-
life during that. I was like, I don't know why I'm
Thinking-
doing this to myself.
Thinking back to how bad that was, I don't really want to
There's like an
I don't really wanna read
underground
any more bad
community of
symbiote stuff.
hobos. Sorry, urban outdoorsmen, and they're just like
Hobos that
Like,
live
they're-
like it's the 1830s.
well, like
in
a whole.
London
Okay, there
or
was
some
an
shit.
earthquake, and the entire city somehow managed to shift, all be in one place. It's basically Sim City. They're just the Sims, They're just in their own community. But what I love though, right, is these are supposed to be the outcasts of the outcasts, and they're like, we don't want this Edward Brock here. You get out, sir. Even though you saved
Yeah,
us
he's
from
a big scary monster, and then he saves them, and they're like, "Well, he saved us, but
There's like
he's
some
not a
evil
good man."
tycoon, like these damn urban outdoorsmen. I can't build my mall in this park in San Francisco.
The bad guy's literally like a real estate guy.
Whoops.
Jay's making noise out of his pockets, but yeah, all in all, still not excited for Venom.
No.
I will say that the first Venom trailer literally looked like they're like, guys, we need to get a trailer out, and they're like, but we haven't shot anything, and they're like, well, we have this footage of Tom Hardy walking around making noises with his mouth.
But sir,
Let's
we
use
don't
that.
have we don't have any
All right.
dialogue. That's okay. I'm really good at Tom Hardy impressions. Yeah, and everybody's got problems. Hey, Mr. Hardy, Mr. Hardy, funny story. We kind of need you to do that for the rest of the movie. Are you serious? Yeah, I mean, I gotta talk like this. Pretty much, sir. Yeah, I do apologize. I fucking comic book movies. Always got to talk in a funny voice.
If Tom Hardy did the entire movie at like Eddie Brock's whole voice was like that, and then when it turned to Venom, it was like the big, like, deep, scary monster voice, like, I'm gonna eat your butthole, and all that cool, edgy stuff.
Toss salad.
I think if that's the trailer I just witnessed, we should redub the trailer with you doing all the
Yeah.
dialogue that Eddie Brock says like that.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, in that voice.
My time has come. I would love. I would be
And then
honored, but I want to
redub
do
all
all
the
the
Venom dialogue.
voices, like But yeah, I think you're right though, Rob. That that they were just like, oh, I gotta put out a trailer. We don't have any footage. Here we go. Take some pudding, and put it in a jar, and
Do you remember it was literally like Tom Hardy on a bed shaking?
yeah.
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 I love
was
it. It
literally the
opens
trailer.
on a lake,
And there
or
was,
like
like,
just
a
kidding. It's a painting of a lake in a
words.
hotel, or not a hotel, a hospital.
Didn't they have him talking a little bit too? Just
Yeah,
like,
everybody's
hey,
got
you did that
problems.
accent you did in the fighter. Do that here.
Also,
There
make it
was-
also, kind of old timey. Like you're also gonna tie a woman to a train track and twirl a mustache while you're doing it. Or maybe like an old reporter. All right,
I'm
see,
going to
I'm a
get
reporter.
you.
See,
I will say there's a cool shot at the beginning of the trailer that looks straight out of Twilight. He's like running through this very blue woods.
My favorite movie / book.
Rob, that's not a good argument. Oh, I
Yeah.
love the
That
shot
was a
that also
lie,
came
by
from
the way,
Twilight.
listeners.
So I
I was
immediately
waiting for
thought
Twilight Zone,
Zone,
but no,
we
didn't
went-
happen.
yeah.
Twilight,
I thought you were talking
like,
about real Twilight.
you know, where the vampires
Sparkle.
and the wolves
I've never seen that.
look sexy and
Where
run
the
and stuff.
It's a great movie. It's very compelling.
sparkle and where
Talk about hot dogs, am I right?
Howl
Yeah.
for
Hey, I got no problem with vampire-based romances, all right? But at least do
Neither
it
do
well.
I if they don't suck.
I don't know. I was pretty proud
Exactly.
of my Weird Al moment there. I just couldn't think of the next part. I'll have it by the end of the episode. You watch and see.
Yeah.
Where the
Yeah.
I
Well,
threw
yeah,
it here
Venom
as well.
dumb.
Sparkle.
Looks dumb. Useless.
and where
I will say there is a couple people on my
wolves
Facebook who will
howl.
remain nameless. Also, I don't even know who they are. I'm just randomly friends with
So
them.
they're actually
that
nameless.
Keep posting the trailer and being like, "This looks so cool," and I'm like,
Yeah, I know a couple people.
It would have been really good if it came out in like
"You do
2002.
You do you."
Oh my god!
This would have been so much better than Daredevil.
if this came
Right.
out in 2002, oh my lord! I
That's
definitely
kind of the vibe it has.
I definitely would have been more excited because it was 2002. Where was I? I think I was a sophomore.
I was 11.
High school, or maybe a junior. Oh man, this is Lord of the Rings. It's gonna be a killer year for movies. Oh man, Two Towers and Venom. Oh man, and we get X2.
Yeah.
Oh man.
11-year-old me would be like,
so better.
Oh man, maybe I'll lose my virginity this year too. Oh, it's gonna be the best.
Paul was just Morty.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's hilarious. Oh,
Oh, Rick.
I know. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? Oh, Rick, Venom's coming out. Morty, calm down. I'll just
That's
go into the
actually
future and we can watch
pretty
it there.
good.
We'll get it from Blockbuster. We won't have to pay anything for it.
just burp a few times during that.
Trust me. Trust me, Morty.
You're
But
doing
there's no
pretty good.
Blockbuster in the future. What did we do? Remember something in the past where we destroyed Blockbuster. Oh my god,
good
this is the
impression.
worst.
Okay, so now instead of my previous idea, we redub the trailer where Eddie Brock is Morty and Venom is Rick.
Yes.
So instead of being super edgy, he's just like a drunk asshole.
Please make this happen.
Oh my god,
That'd be so much better.
that would be.
I believe in you guys.
Yeah.
That'd
Morty.
be a pretty good hit online, I think.
That's Morty, my
Imagine how
dreams
many
are finally
hits we
come
can
true.
get.
I'm a strong black man.
Oh,
Almost
this
in
is
a
all
spit
so much
take.
better than Venom's gonna
Almost
be.
in a spit take.
And it's on video, so it would have played.
Oh, man.
It's like the ultimate
right on the camera.
like comedic compliment to actually get someone to spit take.
Just over dramatic, like.
I've done it. I've gotten people to do it before.
I'm so
but
dehydrated.
like,
I've almost
that'd be
done it, but
great.
I usually end up just like choking on the liquid in my mouth and like drooling it out.
oh, no, I've made people spit take. I've never actually spat out my drink before.
Reverse
Have you ever,
spit.
like,
Like if you're drinking and someone and you just go, "What?" And then it like you just
Oh,
get
right,
like
the-
liquid
the,
on
like-
your chest and it's.
Yeah.
But if it's
like
carbonated, it burns and it's just a bad time.
it's
Yeah.
almost like you're vomiting, but like you're just like keep it back down.
dude,
You're not a freshman anymore.
have you ever like laughed so hard you made shit come out of your nose?
Wow, that's next
I thought
level.
that was going in a different direction. I was going to be like, possibly, but yes.
Fecal matter?
No.
Laugh so hard you made shit.
Well, okay.
Out of your face.
Interesting punctuation on the sentence there.
I will say that when I was getting sick and I was running for the bathroom,
Oh,
and I
this
closed
is
my
not going
mouth,
to be a good ending story.
vomit did come out of my nose, and
Oh, that happens.
and it
Oh,
looks
yeah, that's happened.
and it looked like the trail from Back to the Future, like the two parallel lines of fire is like what it looked like.
Probably felt like that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Gastric acid. And
So
Wednesday.
I was going to try to segue us into talking about the Batman movie that may or may not be existing with Ben Affleck. And as I was about to do that, I was scrolling
Perfect
down
segue.
the comic book resources front page, and there's a big article that says Ben Affleck to direct McDonald's Monopoly heist movie.
Why? What?
It's an interesting story. It's a great
have
like
Better things to
NPR
do.
episode. Yeah, but so anyway, what was I gonna say? Matt Reeves, the guy who directed Cloverfield and Lost episodes and some other good stuff,
and
is
the canceled
apparently
Weekend
making
at Bernie's 3.
No!
Bernie's
well,
Revenge.
deleting that out of the calendar.
It was
This
gonna
is the
be
darkest moment of my
it was
life.
gonna be a Weekend at Bernie's City Slickers crossover. It's too bad it wasn't gonna happen.
God
With
damn.
the undead super popular, what if Bernie came back? Huh?
Bernie's
Hi,
back in
Bernie.
action.
And he talks like this. "Well, I'm dead, but everybody's got problems."
Oh, no.
And the Simpsons
every
that turns
too
me
meta.
into.
Taylor
Too
needs to
meta for
have
me.
that.
I can't handle it.
All right.
Well, anyway, so this Batman movie, The Batman, originally supposed to be starred in. Originally supposed to be directed by Ben Affleck, written by Ben Affleck, and starring Ben Affleck.
Edited by Ben
Triple
Affleck.
threat.
Scored
Now-
by Ben Affleck.
It is not directed by Ben Affleck. It is directed by Matt Reeves. Probably not starring Ben Affleck because Ben Affleck seems to not want anything to do with DC anymore. And he's busy directing a Monopoly heist movie for McDonald's, or about the McDonald's Monopoly heist.
Wait, is it
Side
like
note.
game Monopoly set in the McDonald's universe? Or
That's what
like.
I thought. I would like
think-
Monopoly
I
with
think
McDonald's
it's,
pieces. We have the fries instead of the race car. And of course they're from
So this is
Boston. I don't
a-
know why.
Well, the movie is about, there's a story that's been floating around. Like in the mid 90s, there was a security guy who was in charge of delivering the winning pieces to the McDonald's Monopoly game to stores. And he rigged the game for like 10 years and made like $25 million off of it and then went to jail.
Jesus.
Yeah, I remember
That
that.
actually sounds pretty interesting.
So-
Yeah, I want to see that movie.
Yeah, it's a good story. I would see it. And if
Sounds
Ben
better
Affleck
than
directs, it's
Venom.
like Argo. The very beginning is like super fucking intense. But
See-
it's a guy going
Wait,
into
is it gonna
McDonald's
take place in
with little
Boston?
stickers. It's gotta.
See,
Ben Affleck's directing it.
an
They're like,
Affleck
sir, this
movie.
didn't take place anywhere in Boston. He's like, nah, we're filming in Boston.
that's great. See, I was thinking of like
Great.
the Monopoly guy and Ronald McDonald, just lamenting that their toy bank was robbed or something, and be like, "Oh, what do we do?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Ben Affleck is like, "I'm here, let's do it." Oh, Mr. Affleck.
Well, it says the title of this nude article. Nude? Did I say nude article? This news article.
Nude article.
Hey.
Freudian slip. I'm just seeing Ben
Getting
Affleck's
hot and heavy here.
inflated flate over here.
Your mother could be
I
watching.
can't talk. I'm slurring words. I'm tired. Anyway,
Anywho,
the Batman movie, though, apparently it's going to be a prequel. I don't know. It's supposed to be like a noir, which sounds dope.
as
if
long
it's
as we
done
don't
well.
see Bruce Wayne's parents get murdered again, I think we'll be good.
I don't want to see his parents get murdered, but I do want to see a kid levitate out of a well.
And go, everybody's got problems. My parents are dead.
My mother's name is Martha.
Oh man.
I hate how relevant that line is to everything.
Oy.
It's funny. Bruce Wayne comes down to the Batcave. And he's like, "Oh, I'm so tired of the damn Joker." And I said Jarvis, wrong Butler. Alfred's like, "Everyone's got problems, Mr.
Well, so we've got 99 problems, but Martha ain't one of them.
So,
Oh man."
side note,
Some
many
men,
crossovers
some
this
men
episode.
want to watch the world burn. Everyone's got problems.
This stupid joke broke the podcast.
side note,
I'm gonna change the subtitle of our Twitch chat to "Everybody's got problems."
It's like the original quote. It's like everybody's got their thing.
God, I think I laughed so hard, shit almost came out of my nose.
ugh.
Oh, I'm crying.
No, Rob, no.
They're
You're
happy.
the part of the
Say
team.
Everybody's got problems, man. Oh man, I don't even know what we were talking about.
Side note.
Absolutely nothing.
Side.
Yes,
yes,
What's-
Jay.
What is this side note?
I got into a thing with someone where they're like, Michael Keaton's the best Batman. I was like, that's cool, but
Kevin
now
Conroy?
Kevin. I was
Kevin
like,
Conroy?
But Kevin Conroy is the like true Batman. They're like,
Well, yeah.
Michael Keaton is. I was like, no. Wait, do you know who Kevin Conroy is? No.
Yeah, he was in the
Oh my
Batman,
God.
right?
Batman for like 30 years.
Wait,
He's the voice of
he
Batman.
referenced
Well, he's not
Kevin
a real
Conroy, but
person.
didn't know.
I think Jay referenced Kevin Conroy.
I think the person was like talking with Kevin Conroy, but didn't know who he was. I was like, that's so
No.
weird.
They didn't know who he was and then dismissed him as an actor because he's a voice actor. And I was like, that's wrong.
That is wrong.
Someone clearly doesn't watch anime. Ugh.
And I raise my flagpole to you, sir. Is this the one that you like
Which
fight
anime
with?
is Kevin Conroy voice in?
All of them.
Probably the Ninja Batman.
Oh, yeah, he was Batman in Japan,
Probably.
wasn't he? Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
I think he did do the
Well,
voice.
I-
Yeah, he did do the voice.
I stand corrected. Didn't they make like an Animatrix type thing with Batman?
Yeah, with Kevin Conroy.
Probably.
Where there's a bunch of like
Yeah,
animation.
yeah,
like,
Gotham Knight. It came out like right before Dark Knight hit theaters.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense because I remember getting it on DVD
I did too.
when I was real into DVDs.
Yep, I
I know
remember
they
that
made
day.
Marvel animes.
I remember that day like it was yesterday. I went down to Newbury Comics on Newbury Street and I bought myself a copy of Batman Gotham Knight, and I bought the new Beck CD. Oh, those were good times.
Ooh.
What do you mean, oh?
I'm gonna get a lot of hate
So
now.
you-
From, like,
Listen,
Listen, just because Beck is a Scientologist, he is a well-respected musician.
Is he a
who makes-
Scientologist?
Wait, I thought he was
I thought
in
he made up his
anime.
own thing.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. But the Beck album that came out at that time was pretty dope. I'm going to look it up. I forget what it was called, but it was great.
Soyun
Speaking of
Predator.
weird anime Western crossovers, do you guys remember the Marvel Mangaverse?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah, that was the
Spider-Man
thing.
one where he had the hooks on his hands.
Spider-Man, the first one was really cool.
Yeah.
The first Spider-Man one. I remember there was the Mangaverse, and then there was like the Manga Wave or something where there's like they were like influenced by like anime and stuff.
Mm.
Well, there's
I
also
remember
that,
there was a Venom comic that came out in that time.
Yeah, he was like a dark
There's-
samurai or something like that.
I'm gonna
wasn't
type
he?
in Venom 2003 and see what shows up. Ooh, that was the right year. I'm good.
Whoa. You guys remember the X-Men anime that came out in like 2008 or 9?
Yeah, I heard it. I wanted to watch it, but
X-Men anime.
It's pretty cool.
They had an Avenger. No, not Avenger. They had Iron Man, Wolverine, X-Men, and then they had Punisher and Black Widow.
Oh, really?
The Punisher and Black Widow one was even on Netflix for a little bit.
Mm.
It was god awful.
Oh. In the
How
X-Men
long
anime,
did that
the
X-Men
Wolverine
anime?
was cool because they had Omega Red as one of the villains.
I loved
So
Omega
like
Red.
anime Omega Red was like the fucking coolest actually.
That sounds pretty rad.
the X-Men anime is pretty good because like X-Men as like a series is so like well adapted to like anime because it's so like dramatic and soap opera-ish.
Yeah.
So like it's like pretty seamless.
I just wish that they used the same opening that they had as the Japanese 90s cartoon. Where it's just like,
Oh god.
yeah.
This looks super rad.
Dude, you
I wanna
guys have to
this.
watch the honest trailers for the 90s X-Men. It's hilarious. And they reference
I did.
that.
Yeah.
I love like
It's
just
awesome.
like starring Cyclops and Jean saying their name. Jean, Scott, Jean, Scott, Jean.
Yeah. It's bad
Have
times.
you watched the Pete Holmes one?
No.
It's like Pete Holmes playing Professor Xavier, and he gets a bunch of his comedian friends to play different X-Men and like firing them. So he has one person as like a Archangel and just like, you're a bird. What can you do aside from fly and just shit on people? Well, I can spread my wings and I can like hook people with my feet, kinda. If I like get underneath their armpits with my legs. Yep, you're fired. There's nothing you can do. You're a fucking bird.
Well,
He has like
actually-
8 of them.
He can heal people with his blood. That's his other
And
power.
it's like
God,
with Wolverine,
really?
he's like your
Yeah.
Us-
like
wait a
body
minute.
is made of metal. Like
Guys,
who's our number one
Wolverine's-
villain? Magneto. What can he detect? Metal. I can also smell things really
Wait,
good.
Angel could heal people with their blood? With
his blood.
Wait,
Yeah,
are you
it's like
sure
one of
we're
his
not talking about the
powers.
Phoenix from Harry Potter? Because he could fly and carry people.
No,
and
we're
heal
talking
them.
about Warren Worthington III
When did that happen?
in some comic.
Wasn't it like recently though? After he
Is
like
it when
lost his
Wolverine
mind.
got his spicy claws?
That's a perfect description.
Yeah. I think we all wanted to forget about that.
You're like, I'm trying to make this
sriracha
grilled
slicers.
cheese, but we don't have a thing near us that can cook the grilled cheese. It's just a boring cheese sandwich. And Wolverine's like, everybody's got problems, bud, but I don't. And he just goes, psh, he cooks it, and then he cuts it too. It's actually very helpful. Going camping with him with those starts the fire right up.
Can we call them sriracha slicers?
Yeah, it's from the 12 series. He has his blood has miracle healing properties.
It's
Miracle
from
healing
more
properties.
recent, isn't it?
Yeah, the 12 was like what 2006.
Oh, that's not more recent. That was 12 years ago.
That's pretty contemporary.
12 years?
Comic book times.
No, I guess.
Then again, they've been double shipping books so much that like I was trying to catch up on X-Men Blue, and Marvel Unlimited's like 6 months behind, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm probably only like 6 issues behind, and I'm like 14. I'm like, God damn it.
Jeez. You tried.
I remember when DC started doing that with I almost said all new, all different with Rebirth, and the way they did it was like they were double shipping every book. But I remember Wonder Woman, it was still basically a monthly book because every issue was a different story. So there's like every other issue continued the story, and I was like, why don't they just make this 2 different books?
No, we can't have that. It's a bad idea.
That'd be weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
X-Men.
Am I right?
Yeah, you guys
Well,
should check
I'm
out
gonna
the Pete
tell-
Holmes things.
I'm going to tell the Twitch audience that Paul had to run out real quick. That's why there's an empty ghost chair in our stream. Oh, wait,
If only he
actually.
tilted his camera a little bit so we could see the portrait of him.
Wait, up. If I Wait, nope. If I do this, what happens?
Oh, are you doing
Oh god,
something?
I've ruined the
Use your
stream.
powers for good, Rob.
Oh god, I've ruined the stream.
Oh no.
Oh god. Oh my
It's a
god.
cliffhanger.
What are you doing? Ah! Oh god.
It's like magnified on us or something. I don't understand. Oh wait, I'm not. I need to like look at
It's
the
just
actual
black
Twitch
now.
stream.
Wait,
Okay, there
let
you
me-
go.
Let me
Wait,
fix this.
what
There we
happened to
go.
your screen?
Don't worry. Wait for it. It'll be back to normal soon.
I'm scared.
This part's going to play real well to the audio listeners.
This is zoomed so much on my face. I'll have to tilt it, maybe. What's
Nah, don't worry
going
about
on?
It's back to normal. Everybody relax. Things are fine.
Fine.
All right, I'm going to go.
Hey, there
We're
I
gonna-
am. Hi, self.
Let's play comic book news Russian roulette. I'm going to type in comic book news into Google, and the first thing that comes up, we're going to talk about.
Everything's like super delayed when you're watching the stream and listening, so it's like I'm catching up. It's like I'm
I
like
try
confusing
not to do
myself
both at
because
the
like I'm trying to hear what you're
same
saying, and I'm like, what?
Actually, I don't want to read that. That's a spoiler.
I
You
just
talked
leave
about-
it running on my phone so that way we can get the traffic. And then try and not pay
DC
attention
pulls
to it.
Shazam collection due to content concerns.
Oh yeah, I read that.
What are the, do you know what the content concerns are?
Yeah, there's like some panels with like negative depictions of Asian people. So while it was, I guess, okay at the time, like China Republic Chain now is kind of controversial because, you know, when the movie coming out and people were like, I want to read Shazam comics. Oh my God. Like there was like, you know, bad
This is
Asian
from the
stereotypes.
1940s,
Right.
so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But really, who that's like, I want to read Shazam comics is going to go buy the ones from the 1940s?
Right.
Me.
The people I know nowadays go to the store and they go, what is this old shit? I want to
Right.
read that cool shit.
Right.
Yeah, if
I don't know who that person
if it doesn't
is,
look
but-
pretty. Yeah, who do you know that talks
Yeah.
like that?
I mean, like you can like probably like cut it out or like, well, like I was in the comments section of that article, like people are saying like it's a debate whether or not like should you publish it for historical reasons or should you publish it for like media? It's a different thing to publish it for historical reasons and a different reason to publish it for like entertainment consumption, and like which is kind of like okay, whatever. But also like one thing was like they're saying like you can publish it as is or like take out the problematic panels or just like also like put like a letter saying like, hey, we understand this is kind of fucked up and like, but this is kind of like, you know, the historical context and like we're sorry.
Yeah, because I feel like if you want to go back and read the origins of these things,
Right. You should have
it
access
was
to
good.
it.
Yeah, you should have access to it. But I agree that they should do like a foreword or something and be like, hey,
Right.
remember how fucking racist people were in the 40s?
Not cool.
Sorry.
I think they should just kind of publish it and be like, yeah, this was a thing at the time. We're sorry. We don't think that way anymore, obviously. Read our newest
Yeah.
issue and find out
How less racist we are.
how we're the opposite now.
Somehow in that next issue, it's just something horribly racist. Like, oh god.
Oh, covered up.
DC
It,
DC
like
just
it's a
keeps fucking
reverse
up.
racism thing.
Which doesn't
Like,
exist.
no,
by the way.
Asian people are terrible at math. Whoa.
Oh, like the
Wouldn't
reverse
reverse
stereotype.
racism just be not racist?
Yes, exactly. That's the
No,
that's
reverse
like the
racism is like
dilemma.
when somebody goes to the extreme of trying to not be racist, then that what they're doing is actually racist.
So isn't that just racism?
Well, it's not trying to be. It's like trying to make yourself not racist.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
But you're
They-
doing
they
a good
meant
job
well.
with it then.
All right. Let's see here. What other hot news we got in the time stream over here?
Topics.
Hot
Nothing.
topic.
Hot
Wait, what's going on
Dwayne
with
The
Hot
Rock.
Topic?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt are in the Jungle Cruise movie. Huh?
The
Emily
what?
Blunt
Based
is
off of the-
everywhere.
Jungle
I love The
Cruise?
Rock. I love Emily Blunt.
I mean, I respect the
I'm going to
hustle
see
for
this
sure.
movie.
I mean, if it has The Rock, I'm probably going to see it anyway. I just watched Rampage.
How was that?
How's
It was
that?
like fun. It was really
It's
bad.
like
but it was
exactly what
fun.
it says on the tin. It's like kind of like you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like that they even have like
So
a
this-
cameo moment in like the rich people's like the evil lair of the rich people at their company that they have the game Rampage in the background. Like a
That's
little
cute.
like ha 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 ha.
Little
We know
little
what
wink,
you
a little
did.
nudge.
Project Rampage.
Ooh.
Nailed it.
So I think this Jungle Cruise movie, even though based off of a really boring ass ride at Disney World,
Wait, what?
if it's the Jungle Cruise movie, it's a Disney movie, much like how Pirates of the Caribbean is also based off of a boring ass ride at Disney World.
Oh.
But it has the Rock.
Maybe it'll be good.
Well, it has the Rock.
Yeah, but The Rock is in movies like Rampage and Skyscraper that are great because The Rock is in them. But I wouldn't say they're like great movies. Whereas I think the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is like a genuinely great movie.
But like how many movies that The Rock is in can you say are genuinely great?
Jumanji.
Well,
haven't
that's
seen
the only
Jumanji
one
yet.
I can think of.
Fast Five.
Okay, I haven't seen
Unironic.
that.
It's fucking great. The Rock's in a lot
Unironically?
of good stuff. I want to say he's in a lot of good stuff. Don't
There's some
hold me
good
to
comedies
that.
too.
Mm-hmm. A lot of his family
Central
stuff is
Intelligence
really
was pretty
good.
fun. Okay.
If you type in the Rock into IMDb, does he show up? Oh, he's having Dwayne Johnson. That's fucking lame.
Yeah, it should have it as Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
All right, filmography as an actor. We're gonna go through this quickly, and we're gonna see how good he is. Okay, Skyscraper. None of us have seen that, right?
Nope.
No.
Rampage.
Yeah.
Genuinely great, or just okay?
It's fun.
Like, it's fun. Okay, let's see. Jumanji, haven't seen, but I hear good things. I hear it's
good.
fun.
It's really silly.
It's good. It's legitimately good.
Baywatch. It was fun. Kinda.
Yeah. Mainly because
No,
The Rock
it was-
was in it, though. Mainly because it was The Rock and
True.
Zac Efron.
Mm.
Everyone else was just
Okay.
like, the other
I was
there.
gonna say Zac Efron was good in that movie. Let's see
And
here. The Rock was in Gem and the Holograms.
What?
Oh wow! I forgot that movie even existed.
Me
Wow.
too. I was scrolling through.
They did do
it says-
that. I think I just repressed
Gem
it.
and the Holograms.
Yeah, no, I
Wow.
knew they made it as a thing, and I've ignored its existence. But
Was
like,
it
The
like
Rock's
a limited
in it.
release? Like I.
I remember it coming out, and I think we talked about it
We talked about
before it came out on this show, like in
Oh,
one
we
of the
did.
early episodes.
it.
The comic is
real
great. I
bad.
don't know about the movie.
Yeah,
The movie was
It's
like the
hilarious.
opposite of what the comic was.
Oh god.
he was in San Andreas, which is also ridiculous.
I
haven't
actually
seen
saw
that.
part of that. That was really stupid.
Yeah, it was funny though. I enjoyed it. Not genuinely great though. Yeah, he's not, I can't say he's in a lot of genuinely great stuff.
But
he
you watch it because
definitely,
it's The Rock.
you know, yeah, Tooth Fairy. That's a good ass family movie. I'd watch that with my child and enjoy it. He was in Hannah Montana, the TV show.
All right. Why not?
Scorpion King. All right, so we've established The Rock somehow is the highest paid actor in the world, even though he's only in fun movies, not
He was also in that
great
show
movies.
That's kind of a great setup. I mean, like you just do all the fun shit you want to do and just chill.
Sounds exhausting though.
Work
That
out.
dude, he is hustling.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also, I know
Yeah.
he was in like 2 different football movies, wasn't he? Like Gridiron Gang
Probably.
and something else.
Oh yeah, I feel like the early Rock filmography was like Walking Tall or Walk. I almost said Walk
Oh,
Hard. No,
yeah.
it's Walking,
It was Walking Tall, yeah.
Walking Tall.
Yeah,
Walk Hard
That was
is the
alright.
John C. Reilly one.
which is genuinely great.
You don't want none
That
of this
movie's
shit.
genuinely great.
Genuinely great.
I honestly think Walk Hard is like one of the best modern like satire movies. Like,
Yeah. My
It's so
favorite
good.
part from that movie has to be when he's right after he sings the song, I want to hold your hand. And like the women are all just ripping their shirts up and everything. It's
Yep.
like, you know who has hands? The devil. You know what he uses them for? Holding things. And I just love that scene so much.
My favorite part is the wrong boy died.
I know.
I've seen it a lot in real life. Which is
Like
like,
his brother, like his brother's grown-up ghost is Jonah Hill.
oh god.
And like, you want none of this shit here, Dewey? It's marijuana.
Is
Like,
it habit
well-
forming?
No, there's no repercussions whatsoever. Well, I think I want to try some of that there marijuana. I really like that movie.
It's a great movie. It's a. Do you know what? Do you know who needs to be in a superhero movie as a superhero? John C. Reilly.
Oh my god,
Well,
who would he be?
He was in a superhero movie.
I have no idea who he was.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
He was in, oh yeah.
He's
Damn
supposed to be the dude that's supposed to be Nova.
Yeah, he's like that guy with the
he's in the Nova Corps.
interracial alien family.
Yeah, he's in the Nova Corps, and he has the same name as the dude Nova, I think. Or the dude that is Nova. I don't know. Something along the lines of that. But
They cast John C. Reilly as Nova.
Just
that'd be
Nova.
Oh,
funny.
He's like the main character instead
Just
of like
like
doing the
Out of shape.
2008ish version where it's a kid.
Oh, he's like
He's on the
also-
Guardians, the like teen Avengers, but it's like they have Vision's like teenage daughter, Miles Morales. Who else is on that team? Miss Marvel. On the Guardians.
Vision's daughter. Wait. Oh, sorry, the Avengers. My bad. It's just Nova.
Yeah.
Miles, Ms. Marvel, Lady Thor, Vision, Blackton America. I think that's it. That's the original run.
Wait, what?
I said Blackton America.
Oh, okay. Just making sure I heard that right.
Yeah, I went there.
I think John C. Reilly should helm his own superhero film.
In general,
Yeah.
he's
That'd
like,
be
I think he's
hilarious.
He'd be like a good like in a
underrated actor,
Hancock
kinda.
type of like movie.
Yeah. I forgot about Hancock too.
I forgot
That
about the
movie
second half.
Yeah, I was gonna say that movie started off really good.
So fun.
Yeah, it did. Then it was just
Have you
like
guys ever read the comic
romance.
book? Have you guys ever read The Sword? It's like a Image comic. The Luna brothers did it.
I was gonna read it so many times, I never ended up reading it.
I've seen the
It's
shield.
kind of like Hancock, where there's like these 1,000-year-old gods that just do stuff in the modern time, and there's a sword. I haven't read it in many years, but I remember it had a little bit of that, like they've been around for thousands of years, and now they're just chilling.
Sounds interesting.
I do remember that first trailer for Hancock being fucking awesome, though.
That was it started off as like a super fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And the ending, I
total
don't think the
genre
ending
shift.
was bad.
It was just two movies in one. It was just like a total
Yeah.
genre shift
Yeah.
halfway through.
But that's Will Smith's movies now in general, isn't it?
They're all like four genres in one.
They're kind of just like
I don't
all over
even
the
know.
place now.
I don't even know the last Will Smith movie I saw.
What's this one I've seen?
What's the one with him
I
and
saw
Margot
Bright.
Robbie where they like steal stuff? Oh yeah,
Suicide Squad.
I never watched Bright.
It was
No,
cool.
not Suicide Squad. Focus. Was it called Focus?
I
They're
did
like
see
pickpockets
Bright.
or some shit.
I did like Bright, but like
Hitch.
it had a lot of problems with it.
Yeah.
And
Not enough world building.
they're making a second one, I guess. So
Yeah.
it'll answer some questions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It tried to be more than what it was, but
Yeah.
it wasn't Suicide Squad.
Or Suicide Squad. It was like
Yeah.
great actors dropped into a bad script.
Yeah,
That was another one that was like
quick, we need to make it R-rated. Deadpool
the
did
trailer
really good
came
because
out?
it was R-rated.
remember that first trailer though?
With
What was it set to the Ramones song or something? Or not Ramones?
was
They
Bohemian
did
Rhapsody,
Ramones.
wasn't it? It was Bohemian Rhapsody, wasn't it?
I think they made two trailers. I
The
think there was
second
one
one
to
was
like
Bohemian Rhapsody,
Uh,
and
Was
that's
it
the one
Blitzkrieg
that made
Pop
me
or
like
something?
upset with Bohemian Rhapsody for a second.
I thought it was really good for the trailer. I mean, if we didn't know it was gonna be that bad. Like the trailer was really cool.
I thought it was going to be bad after I saw the second trailer because they like started to or overuse the Joker and stuff like that, and just be like,
Well, that was a marketing thing because they need to draw people in.
I never even saw Suicide Squad.
Well,
You don't have
good for you.
to.
I wasn't planning on it.
The costumes are nice. I mean, like they want to. I mean, for like
Except for
Oscar
Killer
for
Croc.
that.
But yeah,
I mean-
but they beat out like Star Trek, which is kind of horseshit.
Well,
Yeah, that Star Trek movie was actually, but I mean, if you think about that Star Trek movie, I don't know. there's less characters in like crazy makeup.
Yeah, there's only that one
The
like
only one
white
that's in,
alien
like-
chick.
The only one that's in like crazy makeup is Killer Croc. Right?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Everyone else is,
it's like
like,
it's also costuming. It's not
Airbrush
just makeup.
tattoos.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking it's weird when it's like a movie like Suicide Squad up against like Marie Antoinette, and it's they're like showing back and forth, and it's like what's that actress that's in every single one of those movies? She was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
What's her name? Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
It's just her with a
This
powdered
is the
wig, and then all of a sudden
tale
it just
of Captain Jack Sparrow. Sorry. That was a
I like
beautiful
Keira
song.
Knightley.
Me too, but I feel like she's just like the go-to. They're like, we're making a period piece in the Victoria era England in the countryside, and they're like, Keira Knightley, let's get her in, throw that powdered wig on. We're doing this.
Just like
Her and Kenneth
speak
Branagh.
and leave your mouth slightly ajar at the end.
Perfect.
You nailed
But she
it.
was great in Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
What is that? Never heard of that.
Steve
That's
Carell movie.
Steve Carell, yeah.
Oh.
That was good. It was pretty solid. Low key.
Yeah. It snuck under the radar, but it was a pretty good movie. He's
Okay.
like when he wants to be, he's a good like serious actor.
I think Steve Carell's best performance as like a completely like character changing role. Have you ever seen The Way Back?
No.
It's kind of like a coming of age story that takes place in Cape Cod, and he plays this kid's stepdad, and he is such a dick. Like the most believable asshole dad you've ever seen. And I was like, damn.
Like
Steve
scary
Carell
asshole or just
pulled it
like a
out.
douche?
I mean, not scary. He seems like the kind of guy that might like slap you in the face or something, but not like he wasn't like beating his kid. He's just like a dick,
Okay.
just like a douchebag. But oh man, it's a good movie. I recommend it.
It's called The Way Back.
I believe it's The Way Back. It's either The Way Back or The Way. I think The Way Back is a war movie. The
Does
Way.
Anybody
Back.
know what Foxcatcher was
Yeah.
about?
Yes, Foxcatcher is about. That's more of a J thing. It's about a wrestler and is like MMA coach or something.
Oh, that
Oh,
one.
okay.
That's the wait. So Steve Carell done 2 different wrestling movies?
I guess. I don't know.
I know the
there's one where
Foxcatcher's.
he. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm mistaking him with someone else.
Mm.
Because there's the one where what's the dude's name that plays J. Jonah Jameson?
Oh, you're talking about
J.K.
Whiplash?
Simmons.
No, not Whiplash, but he has a wrestling one, I think.
I want to see
I think you're
Whiplash,
right.
but might get PTSD from it.
Whiplash is the drumming one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
I see white kids get slapped around.
Wait, he slaps around some kids?
Yeah, it's like he's like a really strict teacher,
Is
music
that what
teacher.
the
and like,
Whiplash is?
yeah, the fucking head swiveling on your neck.
Is that seriously how they got the name of the movie?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, it's
Just
an
like,
apt title.
ah!
Yeah.
Oh man, you let me down. I'd watch it if that's what it was actually.
I mean, there is child abuse or minor
Whatever.
abuse.
Well, yeah. What have you guys been reading? It's about that time. Instead of just going down a hole of actors in weird movies.
I'm still reading Fables by Bill Willingham. It's really good. This is like the longest I've ever like read it because I've always started like the first trade and like stopped reading it. But now I'm on the 10th trade, so I'm like really proud of myself.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I know. I am crushing
Where were
it.
you last week? You were on like
I was like
the
volume
first
6. Yeah, I was.
Okay, yeah.
reading
Last
it,
week
yeah.
you were around where I ended. Reading it because I think I've
Yeah.
read like the first 6 or 7 trades.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, like, what was I gonna say? Like, at first, like when I first read it, it was kind of like a noir kind of thing. Then it kind of like branched off into more like, crimes, like the horrors of war and like intrigue. And now we're still in the kind of like the war phase. But I'm more interested. Personally, I'm more interested in like the slice of life stuff because it's like I like kind of like magic urban realism. So I hope we get more of that. But right now we're kind of like in the war phase as they're facing the adversary who drove them from their homelands. So I'm staying tuned. I've been watching. Well, I just caught up with My Hero Academia, the anime, and I'm really upset because I want more of it, and now I have to wait like a week. So I'm mad.
You're finally on the week to weeks.
Yeah,
How long
I'm
has it been
so
since
mad.
you've been one of those with the show?
Years. I mean, I haven't like watched anime regularly since like high school, and because I went to college, I just stopped watching anime. And then like now that I'm an adult, it's like I have more time to do stuff, I guess. So yeah, and like My Hero Academia is like the anime that like got me back into anime. So it's like I recommend to like listeners and readers or listeners and watchers, viewers, like if you're a lapsed anime viewer like myself, My Hero Academia is a great like
That's
re-entry.
me.
Yeah, it's a great
it's
re-entry
really great.
point.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I have a couple coworkers that are super into anime, and they're always just like, they always try to push One Punch Man on me.
I can't get
Which
into
I
One
also
Punch
hear is
Man.
good, but
One Punch
Yeah,
Man is
I'll
fun.
probably-
My Hero Academia is definitely more shonen. So, like, if you're into shows like Dragon Ball Z and, like, Yu Yu Hakusho, things like that from the earlier ages, then My Hero Academia would definitely be your go-to.
I should check it out.
Yeah.
That's it for
Anything
me.
else you've been? Word. I've been diving into my Comixology Unlimited subscription that I just re-upped recently and seeing what's on there. And I read volume 1 of Deadly Class, which is the Rick Remender comic about. It's kind of like it's about a school. I think it's based in like San Francisco or something. It's kind of John Wicky, how there's like a subculture, like underground assassination school where they kind of pick up vagrants and people who don't really have much going on and like train them to become assassins.
Did you just call him
Sounds
John
more like an
Wiki?
anime. Sounds like an anime to me.
It's John Wicky.
It's John Wikipedia.
John Wick-esque. But so it follows like the main character is he's probably like in his late teens, early 20s, and he's homeless, and he gets found and brought into this kind of clique, this school, and it's super fucking dark. And like Rick Remender, he writes some dark stuff sometimes, and he definitely has like some nihilisticness in his comics. Even his Marvel comics go down these like really dark holes. But this one is like exceptionally dark. Like the first arc is like they have to go and find somebody who is like a bad person and kill them in order to like become a full-on member of this school. And like they, in the first trade, spoiler alert, they just like murder this homeless guy who probably didn't deserve it. And it's really bleak. And I heard recently that they're making like a movie out of this, or a TV,
That's a TV show
based off
yeah,
of it.
Sci-fi. Yeah.
Okay, and I was like,
The Russo brothers are
like,
attached. Good shit, y'all.
tonally, I feel like if they make it a little less bleak, I could see how it could be cool if it kind of goes more into the John Wick vibe. But this is like real dark, really violent, very nihilistic, and Rick Remender wrote like an afterwards after the end of the first volume, talking about like how he grew up in the late 80s, early 90s in like Phoenix, Arizona, constantly getting into like gang fights and watching people get stabbed and like shit. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, wow.
I was unaware of this background, Rick Remender.
Right.
I'm sorry. That sounds rough. But it is like a weirdly personal feeling comic. I don't know. It's weird. I recommend reading it just out of the curiosity. It's weird. It's a weird book. I don't think I'm going to keep reading it. It was very bleak.
Is Rob having a stroke?
Yeah, we're having one of those situations where Rob's connection is the bad one for once.
It,
Oh, wow.
It was like,
Yeah, we missed that last couple of sentences.
Well, luckily, I'm the one hosting this stream, so it'll be perfect. All I was saying is Deadly Class is bleak as hell. Also, I read the second volume of...
I love it.
Also,
It was great. I'm the one hosting it. I just freeze frame, just Rob smiling like.
That's actually probably why it's lagging. It's because I'm the one streaming it.
That makes sense.
But anyway, I've also read volume 2 of Letter 44, which I think I may have talked of. I may have talked of volume 1 when I read that a while back. But it continues to be cool. It's
That's
such
a
a
good
cool
series.
premise.
Yeah.
And Comixology Unlimited has at least the first 3, maybe even more volumes. I'm not sure how long it goes for, but it's cool. I like how there's like 3 different stories being told. There's the like in space, like sci-fi as hell, alien, like First Contact, like Martian-ish. It's like The Martian meets Contact. And then on Earth, you have like your political intrigue, and it feels like an episode of Scandal, where just like the president and his wife getting up to good weird stuff, and then you have the old president doing some weird shady shit.
Yeah,
and it's good. I really like it. And so yeah, I'm two trades in, and I'm gonna keep reading that for sure.
Good stuff.
And I just saw that they have the entire series of Rachel Rising on Comixology Unlimited, which I've always wanted to read. So that's next on my list for sure.
Very good things. Haven't read it
I don't
yet.
know what that is.
It's about like this.
It's Terry Moore. Or is it Terry Moore?
Yep, Terry Moore.
Yeah.
Terry Moore.
Known for Strangers in Paradise.
Is that the Jimmy
Also haven't
Buffett
read that.
one? Or is that
Yes.
Cheeseburgers?
Known for the Jimmy Buffett graphic novel, Cheeseburgers in Paradise.
Oh shit!
Ooh, you
what
got
a
the sexy
seductive
Ian Malcolm.
Did they draw or did they put abs on him?
In this light, yes.
It's funny.
Oh,
so back,
dad bod.
that was like late stage, like early 90s, when you could be like a sex appealed guy, but you didn't have to be looking like Hugh Jackman in Days of Future Past. Like, you didn't have to be super ripped and vascular. You could just have like chest hair and like, you probably work out, but
Just
Dr.
like a
Ian
thick
Malcolm just
frame, but
oozed
like you're not out
sex
of shape.
appeal. Yeah, it's like a in shape dad bod. Like, he doesn't have the beard yet. Or it's like dad bod if he does cardio versus lifting weights.
And just drinks
Yep.
water.
Exactly.
Dad bod, not in construction.
Jay, what have you been up to?
Absolutely nothing. I mean, I'm watching Black Clover still, which is new Naruto, so it continues to be entertaining. Overlord season 3 has been pretty dope. A lot less lizard people sex than the second season.
What?
That's a bummer.
Can we pause and rewind for that? What? I'm interested in lizard sex.
In season 2, so this is a show that's like a guy gets put into his video game character's body at the stroke of midnight, and
Stroke.
like he's just in the world now as his character, and he's the leader of one of the most powerful guilds, and they had like made all these NPC characters to defend, and now he's like in charge of all of them. And it's really more of like a D&D type thing than anything. So like a fantasy world build than a video game. And in the second season, they started off not even like going over anything with the main character for the most part. Whose name is like Ainz Ul Gon, because like he couldn't think of a cool character name for his online character. So it's focusing on lizard people trying to defend themselves from an unknown entity that's going to like take over their lands and stuff like that, which is the main character. And he uses and he unites the lizard people tribes, and 2 of them fall in love with each other, and one's going to go into battle to like sacrifice himself if need be, blah blah blah.
So
And then-
it's Dances with Wolves. With a little bit of
I've
Last
never seen
Samurai.
that. Never seen it, or either of them.
Pocahontas? Fern Gully?
So he uses a magic mirror of like seeing whatever, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't see these 2 individuals," and casts like an upgraded spell to be able to look inside buildings, and like they straight up just show lizard people sex, like tails intertwined, missionary.
Ooh,
It's a whole thing.
fucking-
And like his character immediately is just like, what the fuck? and just like turns the screen off and is like, I'm gonna have someone explain this to the younger ones later on. They're smart, they'll be able to do it. It's really, really entertaining.
Wow.
Really great animation too. So if like you want a good like fantasy series to get into that has really like awesome fight scenes, I think I want to say it's, and I don't know if it's UFO Table or not. I honestly can't remember who does the animation, but they're real good. Maybe JG Productions. I don't know, but someone good. Y'all should check it out.
Okay, thank y'all.
Yeah. I'll give a better anime spiel when I like actually re-update what I've been looking at. I just remember those two specific things. And like Cells at Work continues to be hilarious, and Platelets are fucking adorable.
How far into the X-Men are you now, Paul?
Far enough to wear the t-shirt.
Well, let's see. Last I checked, I just read, there was a New Mutants and Uncanny X-Men annual, kind of interconnected, where, Mojo kind of is being a creepy fat spider thing. And,
Hot.
yeah, he's gross. But he, yeah, it was just, you know, I just imagined him just being like, hey kids, come to Mojo World. We have all the fun and games. You're gonna love it. Woohoo! Come on down to Mojo World.
Nailed it.
And that's literally just how, because he's got like the constant grin, and I just imagine him just being like, hey kids.
Like the clown from Powerpuff Girls.
A bit of that, a bit of King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph. You know, I'm okay,
Yeah, that
they
makes sense.
just glazed me.
Wasn't that Tom Kenny?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, so that was going on. I think they were still wrapping up with like Magneto being depressed and being like, I'm a terrible teacher. And Emma's like, yes, you are. I should have your New Mutants. And he's like, okay. And then, yeah, they go to this school in Massachusetts.
The worst Emma accent. It was so gross and like sleazy.
That's what I was going for. It's Emma Frost.
Well, she is like super sketchy, but I don't think she sounds like that.
Well,
The slimiest British.
yeah.
Right. Skeevy.
Also, I've got a card to show you while I'm at it.
It just
I
sounds
don't
like
even
a
know.
weird British man.
But listen, Magneto, don't worry.
Just go for
Everybody's
like,
got
super
problems.
Yes. Tie that back. Thank you.
Wolverine walks in. It's like, hey, everybody's got problems.
It's like,
Venom walks in. Eddie Brock's researching.
Morty, we got problems. Yeah. So yeah, bit of Mojo World going on. And that's kind of really where I'm at. So of course I'm trying to read everything chronologically. So there's X Factor, where they've been a team. First of all, this is such a terrible idea. Like, we have to fight injustice and bigotry and racism. Why don't we have a team where we'll run advertisements that'll literally say, hey, do you have a mutant problem? Do you have someone in your neighborhood who you think is a mutant? Call X Factor. We'll take care of the problem for you. And that's like,
That's
and
really
Cyclops is
scary.
kind of like, I don't know if this is helping the cause. And Warren's like, shut up. My blood heals people and you're an asshole. And
He's not wrong on both of those
yeah.
counts.
And so like, you know, Jean is still like, why won't Scott talk to me? And everyone's like, I don't know. And then finally she like gets it out of him. They're like, Scott is with someone, isn't he? It's like, yeah, by someone you mean wife. And he's like, he's married. Does he have a kid? kinda. And
Just make it like a really bad soap opera. Like,
Well, she
oh my
kind of looks exactly like you.
yeah.
Not
She's
weird.
your identical twin, actually like a clone, but she dresses way sexier than you.
Well, not yet. She's not the Goblin Queen yet.
I'd be so salty.
Yeah. And so basically it's just a lot of like, Scott's like, well, I'm trying to call Madeline. She's not returning my calls. And everyone's like, well, duh. And yeah, it's just very dramatic.
Awkward.
I feel like X Factor, I think, is what really made X-Men become like the soap opera that like we all know and love today.
And then God bless it.
Seriously, yeah. Yeah, so like Scott and Jean just have like a super awkward conversation where it's like, so you're married, huh? And Scott's like, yeah, I guess.
It'd be like that sometimes.
But it's so funny though because
It's funny.
because she's like, I'd have wanted to get on with your life. How could I blame you? For Scott moving on, and she's like, he shows them a picture of Madeline Pryor and their child. And then she was like, you have a baby too, a little girl? I didn't know. I always thought we'd have a boy. And then Scott was like, it should have been you. Like, it's so...
Oh.
Yeah, it's great.
Didn't they also have a boy together?
Yeah, Cable.
Don't they
Yeah.
have several kids?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Scott
it's
has
wacky.
a couple kids, but wait, so is it Rachel and
Jean actually has like 0 kids.
Yeah, Jean has no kids.
Yeah, technically it's all Madeline Pryor.
Well, like the alternate universe Jean has, like alternate timeline Jean has Rachel, but like the current timeline Jean has no kids.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I can't keep up. So yeah, there was a great episode though with New Mutants where Danny Moonstar goes back to Colorado because she's kind of upset that Magneto is kind of being flaky and whatever, and so she goes back to Colorado and there's a vicious snowstorm. And he's like, oh, I can't wait to see my family. Danny, there's no time. There's a snowstorm and we gotta save the horses. And she's like, well, let me help. And she's like, no, you're just a kid. But go to the mall and buy some clothes. So she goes to buy some. She goes to the mall. She buys some clothes. And there's like this really awkward part where like she has these incredible shorts on, where like it's like part cheek and a little bit of underwear. And she was like,
Oh man,
yeah, and
Got
this
them denim
and,
panties on.
it's a minor.
yeah, and she's like,
Denim panties, or did you say dem panties?
I said denim panties. I heard someone say that once, and I was like, that's disturbing, but horribly accurate at the same time.
Sounds so uncomfortable.
it is. And then she's like, oh, this will get my teachers looking, my family looking. I'll take them.
That's a direct quote.
I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much like what.
How many
Like,
times did she say my family?
I don't know. But
It's like Chris Claremont,
Right.
jeez.
These writers, man.
yeah.
Calm down.
So then she like leaves
Hey,
the.
they know what they like.
She leaves the mall and she sees this dude who is like acting super racist towards her, and so she like runs away and he's like, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get what's mine or whatever, because they have like a past.
Jesus.
Yeah. It was New Mutants 41 Mirage versus Death Showdown. Yeah, and of course I love how she shows up on this fucking Pegasus thing that she got from Asgard because she's also a Valkyrie now.
It's an import.
Because
Who isn't?
because comics, and you know what? And I just found the panel, and I'll make sure to share it in the group chat. She's like, "This'll stop a few hearts. My folks, my teach, my friends, my own, sold." And yeah, it's like a little cheek, a little panty. Gets out of the mall, and she comes across this dude that she used to be friends with. He's acting super racist towards her. But apparently,
You don't get what's his.
yeah, this whole bit where like they used to be friends, and I think her mutant power manifested in front of him, where she kind of makes you see the thing you fear the most, and he was super embarrassed. And so at one point, he like fucking knocks her head against the glass. It's like a little violent, and he like steals some of
It's a little rapey.
he steals some of the new clothes that she bought.
Even creepier.
There's even a part where he says, I'm feeling generous, Danny. You don't have to fight me like a white. You can use your stinking special redskin way. How's that?
What the fuck?
Yep.
When was this made?
Oh, it's like in the 80s. So anyway, so she runs off, and he's like, there are lots of lonely roads in your high country engine. I don't know him as well as you do, and if a body don't walk real careful, she can have herself a nasty accident, maybe even a fatal one. And then even his friends are like, dude, chill the fuck out. Like, calm down.
At least someone's like...
So then he gets into he gets into his truck, because naturally if you're an asshole and you're in Denver, you have a truck, and he's got beer and an insulin package. So because he's a drunk driving.
So he's diabetic.
A diabetic alcoholic.
Very
drinking
dramatic.
beer, gets into an accident. She hears it on the CB radio. She goes to save him. And he's in pretty rough shape, like he's all bloody and whatnot. And so she brings him into a cave because it's a really bad snowstorm. And part of her thing is now that she's a Valkyrie, she can see death whenever it approaches. And in this case, death takes the form of like a fucking cowboy, because why not? But before that, she learns that, when she sees, the thing he's afraid the most, and also the thing that he desires, that he's secretly in love with her. And she sees this kind of image of them being married, and she's like, that's us, Pat and me, in love, married, and, blah, blah, blah. So Death comes, and she defeats Death for a little bit, but he eventually dies anyway when they're finally rescued and they're brought to a hospital, and sees an old racist depiction of an Indian woman. And she's just coming and being like, hey, it's just like super fucking bad. And then she's like, death isn't always a bad thing. She's like, you bring pain. And she's like, yeah, but I also end it too. And, and the kid dies, and she's like, oh, what could have been me and my, racist husband. Yeah, and so he dies, she goes back home, and she's like, oh, there you are, Danny, and she just cries with her parents. And that was this crazy, weird, New Mutants issue that I read. So that is what I have been up to.
That makes Venom sound way less bad.
That was wacky.
Yeah.
That was an adventure.
Yeah, it was. It always is, yeah. I don't know, maybe I will start a thing like, Paul reads bad comics for you.
Oh.
Dude, it's like when you see the drawing, it's like all I could think of. Like, I am drawn by a white man who doesn't know.
Or appreciate my culture.
Yeah. Because,
I'm sure he's like 1/16 Native American, probably, maybe.
Cherokee.
Like he said so dismissively, Cherokee.
Because everyone always claims Cherokee. Everyone always does.
Because it's the one that they know.
There's so many more tribes, people. Guys, come on.
I know, it's like, yeah, I get it. You have a Jeep. Continue.
Cool.
Man. Who's
Wampanoag is way more fun to say.
Sure
who's
is.
the DC one? The Apache chief or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Enoch Truck.
It's Apache Chief, I believe.
Yeah, he would grow like 20 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, side note. I know I'm playing off my own thing. Did you guys ever watch the Harvey Birdman episode with that?
Mm-hmm.
The Apache chief saves
Thanks, Paul.
a town of people from a comet that comes after him, and then he goes into a coffee shop and spills coffee on his lap, and he can't grow tall anymore.
No. Sounds very silly.
Y'all should watch that Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law episode. It's great.
Just I'm reading the stuff Paul
I'm distracted by these. I'm distracted by these booty shorts that Danny Instar's wearing.
And this
isn't it weird?
Racism.
It's like part cheek and a little hint of underwear, and like the weird pink pigtails too is a little weird.
Slams her head against a wall.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Did you guys ever watch 30 Rock?
Yeah.
Do you remember that one point?
Oh, this is way worse. The animation's way worse than I thought. Or drawing.
Like the
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, but remember when they hire that comedian? She's like, I'm a very sexy baby. That's all I could think of when I see Danny in those short shorts.
Yeah. Well,
are those even shorts?
I think we've all learned something today.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Cultural
watch
sensitivity
Venom.
is not okay.
I don't know what we learned, but
What
I
I've-
could say we learned something.
I think we've
Actually, you know what? We learned that everybody's got problems.
learned that. We've learned that you should follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Twitch now, and drop us some love, leave us a comment. WednesdayComicPodcast@gmail.com. Right, we're on YouTube. Y'all know the drill. So as enjoy your issues.